videos, and apparently there was no audio whatsoever. So I'm re-recording, and hopefully the audio works this time. I'm re-recording, and I'm going to make a few changes. If anybody did actually listen to it and actually had audio, sorry, that video is being taken down. Don't worry, this is going to be uploaded this Friday, which is the next Friday, so technically I wouldn't have had uploaded for 3 weeks, and that's bad. So, hopefully you guys enjoy. Let's get started. So we skip to when Naruto is 10. Kakashi has secretly been taking her on missions and training her in the way of the ninja. Might Guy has gone with him multiple times because Jonin missions, when they're A rank and B rank missions, when they're required Jonin, they take multiple Jonin just in case. Tag team. So, Naruto knows the 8 gates just by watching Guy fight. And she can also see the gates with her vision. She knows them. She never uses them, even though she can use them and be completely fine because she's freaking immortal. And yes, I'm making her immortal. That's coming later of how she became immortal. So don't worry, I'll explain it. So, Might Guy has been training her in physical. And he tried pinning a green spandex suit that he gave to Rock Lee on her. But she said, nah, I already got one. And she brought out a freaking white spandex suit, like you see in the top right. And he just started spewing nonsense about the flames of youth. So, he appreciates her as like a little student. And we go to one mission. She's supposed to infiltrate and recover somebody because she has the ability to basically teleport by using puddles of blood. And I'll explain that later. And her objective is to rescue a hostage. So, she sneaks in as this hooded figure, and she looks like an angelic person underneath the hood. Her hair's fully black. Her eyes are bright blue. She has long hair. It's under a cloak, a very thick cloak. She walks in, and she acts like she's supposed to be there. And none of the ninjas are supposed to be there, so they just act normal. So nobody can notice them. But they all start getting suspicious from her because she has absolutely no presence whatsoever. She doesn't have a civilian presence. She doesn't have any presence whatsoever, and she's just walking through. With how big and long the cloak is, it's dragging along the ground, and it looks like she's floating. She's not actually floating, she's stepping really lightly, and it doesn't make a sound. So yeah. And she goes to the room where the person's being held, and there's 2 guards. She looks at the guards, and they start freaking out so bad. They're samurai, so they don't have the ninja training to know when a genjutsu is placed on them. But even if they have known that there's a genjutsu placed on them, they don't have the chakra reserves to break it on some of the genjutsus. But she's not having a genjutsu. She's actually crying blood. Yeah! So she starts crying. The blood leaves a trail on her face. She drops the cloak. Black and red wings come out. Nobody else besides them can see this. Because she put a genjutsu on herself that if she's not targeting them, they can't see her true form. And she pulls out a mask. The mask on the right. The Death Reaper mask from the Uzumaki compound in the land of Whirlpool. So, that's also something. Kakashi's taken her on so many missions from when she was 8 to 10 that they visited the Uzumaki compound. So, she went to it and she saw the chakra in all the masks. Just one was nothing. No chakra whatsoever. But it was calling to her. So she picked it up and she put it in a bag. She has never put this in a storage scroll. She told everybody around her she'll never harm this mask or put it in a storage scroll, but she will protect it with her life if needed. And she doesn't allow anybody except her to hold it. Hi, Leo. Hold on. I have to see what my cat wants. Okay, my cat wanted outside. I let him outside. I'm back! So, the mission's over because she got to the person after they have a panic attack and they basically pass out from fear on the floor. Mission's over because she teleported them back to Kakashi. Guy was waiting because Guy's got to know her. She has a close relationship with one of the teachers at the academy. She has a close relationship with Guy and Kakashi. And just her hanging out with them long enough, she calls Guy a cousin. She acts like Guy's a cousin, kind of. She doesn't say cousin, none of that. But she calls Kakashi Big Brother. Mainly because he's older, yes. And she knows who her father was. And who her mother was. Kakashi, after his father died, yes, Sakumo's dead, got close to Minato because Sakumo died. Minato is now a father-like figure for him. So yeah. He felt responsible to take care of Naruto. So he's taking care of her. But he still can't find where she lives because she's filthy rich and he goes to the poor side of the village. And she doesn't walk home. She teleports home. So yeah. Well, really, she shun-shwings home, but she shun-shwings at such a speed that no one could pick up a chakra signature for her. And her ability to basically hide herself completely from chakra. So, nobody knows where she lives except for Iruka. Iruka only knows, and he's been sworn to secrecy from Naruto. Now, we skip. No. They get back to the village. We skip to when they get back to the village. She gets congratulated for her first solo mission that she's done. Yes, she's Jonin strength. Well, technically she's Kage strength, but she's in Jonin. She considers herself Jonin right now. Because when she fights Kakashi, well, can completely shred her. Makes sense, because, duh, Kakashi has so much more experience. But she can hold her own against Guy and Kakashi for a little bit before their experience takes over hers. Because she's hiding her experience from her past lives. Which is important. Now, they get back to the village, and Iruka immediately goes to them and goes, she missed the first day of academy. And Naruto goes, well, A, I didn't miss it, and B, did you not see my clone? And he goes, what? And she goes, yeah, the shadow clone. And Iruka's jaw drops when he hears shadow clone. And she goes, oh, and by the way, I'm going to need special scrolls that have the chakra ink so I can actually see them. I know Jiraiya has already changed pretty much the entire library except for the clan scrolls that only can be accessed by them. But I'm going to need you to change that over so I can actually read it. You remember my disability, right? And he goes, yeah. So, we go maybe 30 minutes later. She's at her home, and she hears a knock at the door. So she answers it, and she sees a blue-haired, wide-eyed, pale-skinned girl that is just staring at her. And she goes, "Oh, hi, Hinata." And Hinata says, "You want to train now?" And she goes, "Sure." So they go out into the training field, the Team 7 training grounds, because she expects herself to be in Team 7. She's going to be in Team 7, but Team 7's not going to be the normal canon setup. So, yeah. Woohoo! So, should I? No, I'm not going to do that. So, they practice the Jukin, the gentle fist. And after, we see Rock Lee and Mike Guy, because she told Mike Guy where to go for her training. And they start practicing the Goken, the strong fist. Lee is in the academy, and he found Mike Guy to be a very youthful person and started training with him. And Mike Guy, seeing a little bit of himself in Rock Lee, immediately accepted and started preaching about the flames of youth. So they train in the Goken, and nobody knows, but she's starting to fuse the gentle fist and the Goken together, or strong fist. The strong fist and the gentle fist together. And she doesn't call it anything yet. But one day, she's walking to her favorite sweets shop. And she sees her big brother. And she walks up to him and asks, "So what should I call a mixture between the gentle fist and the strong fist?" And Kakashi's like, "I don't know, the medium fist?" And she started busting out laughing and goes, "Good idea. That's what I'm going to do." And he's like, "Wait, what?" She goes, "Yeah. I hit with the power of the strong fist, and I do the same damage with the Jukin, or the gentle fist. So the medium fist. Let's do that." And she just walks away and into the shop, buys a ton of sweets, and walks home. So we skip to the end of the academy, which is 8 years. So she's now 18. And it's graduation day. Yeah, I'm a little fast. But it's graduation day. And she didn't take the mask with her. Instead, she's wearing her other mask that has the Akatsuki kind of pattern on it. And she knows that Jiraiya's coming to town in a few months, because a few months is the tuning exam. So she told Hiruzen that when Jiraiya gets here, give him this. And it's a sealed scroll. This scroll is a blood seal that she somehow keyed to Jiraiya. And Hiruzen's completely confused on how she keyed it to Jiraiya. And she goes, "Remember that weird wallet that he gave me?" And he goes, "Yeah, the one that you told me about that you didn't like?" She goes, "Yeah. He left a hair on it." And Hiruzen's like, "Wait, you got his blood from his hair?" She goes, "Yeah, I could turn anything into blood." And it turns into the blood of that person, so yeah. He goes, "Oh God, you're going to be a menace later in life." And she goes, "No, I'm a menace now." And he goes, "Yeah, true." So, we go back to the present day of the academy graduation. And Iruka is giddy. He's jumping around excited to see how much she's improved since 10 or 8 years ago, because he's never seen her improvement besides the A and B rank missions. So we go past the written exam because she can't see it. She can't see it whatsoever. So they're like, okay, you don't need to do a written exam. We'll give you an oral exam later. So it's the weapons exam. And I'm going to make it a little bit more. So they have to learn at least one stance of swords, one how to throw a kunai, shuriken, and a little bit of senbon. The pressure points for senbon, but they're not supposed to know how to throw it yet. So she passes with flying colors, but she also, in the background, poked each chakra point, all 361 chakra points, in the dummy, saying these are also points for senbon. And Iruka's like, that makes sense because you can see it. She goes, yeah. We go taijutsu sparring. It's an uneven class. There's one extra, so someone's going to have to fight Mizuki. Everybody goes except for Naruto. And he goes, okay, Mizuki, you can't fight her. So he picks up a scroll and reads it and says, in 30 minutes, a special Jonin will be coming around to first talk about what they do in their ninja life to make sure that this is what you guys want, and to fight Naruto. And everybody's like, what? Including the brooding Sasuke, which says, I'm actually not going to say it because I'm not going to spoil his personality for right now. I'm not going to spoil his personality yet, because he's not going to be on the same team as Naruto. So we go to 30 minutes later. It's now Naruto's taijutsu exam. She's taking the oral test. And Mike Guy shows up. And she goes, ooh, I could try it. And he goes, you could try what? And she goes, remember how you taught me the Goken? And he goes, yeah. Well, I kind of made my own style. He goes, oh, great. She goes, yeah, it's fun. I call it the medium fist. And he goes, what? She'll go, you'll see. So she gets in the gentle fist style stance. And he goes, okay, so you're going to be using the gentle fist. She goes, no, medium fist. And she puts, instead of she using her fingers, she goes fist. And she starts beating the hell out of Mike Guy. He doesn't have any of the gates open. He's going 50% too. So he's not expecting her to go 100%. So she starts beating the crap out of him. He goes, ah, crap. So he opens the first gate. He immediately disappears from her. But she can see where he's going to be because of her experience. So she starts pulling all of her experience together and using it now. She's finally using her experience. So he arrives to her right, and she punches out right at his throat to knock him out. And he dodges barely. She has faster speed than him by twofold, but he's stronger and he can take more damage. But he knows if one tap from her hand, her fist, her fingers, anything from her hand, and he's out because of the gentle fist style that she's starting to use. One thing about Mike Guy that is different in this one is he's a sensor. He's not a normal sensor. He's highly sensitive to chakra. So he knows how much people are putting different places. But he can't tell what kind of chakra like Naruto can. Because she could see the elements when they're forming. So she punched out. He barely dodged. And all of a sudden, he's like, okay, you win. You win. How, though? And she goes, I got secret. and walks back into class. And he turns and sees the tree that he used as a backstop because he knew that if she's going to punch something, he needs to see how much damage. And the tree's friggin' top half is gone. Everybody was not watching because they were taking the written exam. And they were kind of doing the ninjutsu part. Except for Hinata. Hinata was watching with her Byakugan. She wasn't paying attention to her test. She got permission from Iruka to watch her fight. She punched out without looking and shattered the top of the tree. And right when that happened, everybody heard just a crack. A really loud crack, like a crack of thunder. And Hinata gasped. And Iruka went up to her and asked what was wrong. And she said, hey, the tree's gone. And Hinata started getting giddy because she knew what Naruto could do with her gentle fist, or her strong fist. She started amplifying her strength with chakra like Tsunade does, without actually seeing Tsunade use it. So, we go an hour later. Naruto is just literally standing outside the class, and Iruka finally goes, okay, everybody, it's now time for the ninjutsu portion. And one of the chairs gets swept out underneath another student, and Naruto appears behind the student and goes, Karimi, done. And Iruka goes, okay, that's one done. Now, clone. Everybody goes one at a time. Naruto is the last because she had to get the chair back. She's the last, so she immediately walks up and goes, should I use hard clones or soft clones? And he goes, what's the difference? Soft clone can't touch. Hard clone can. Because I kind of want to play a game with one of the people here. He goes, sure, hard clone. And who? And she goes, I'll forfeit the student or the prodigy of this class to Sasuke Uchiha if he can find me within an hour. She doesn't do any hand signs, and she says, multi-shadow clone shuffle. Hundreds upon hundreds of clones appear in the academy, not disturbing other classes, but filling the halls, the classrooms, and outside, and all of them Karimi with each other. So it's just a giant shuffle, a giant cloud of smoke, and all of them say at once, Sasuke Uchiha, go! And he just looks at Iruka, and Iruka goes, you're wasting time. And everybody's looking at Iruka like, she can do this? And he goes, I can't stop her. And they all look at Iruka and go, yeah, right. You could easily just tell me to stop her. And he goes, I kind of want to see how well he can find you. How fast he can find you. An hour and a half later, he finally finds her. And she goes, you lost 30 minutes ago, but I let you find me. And he goes, what do you mean? She goes, well, when I say multi-shadow clone shuffle, every 10 minutes, I'm supposed to be doing Karimi with all my clones. But I didn't. So, cups and balls. And Iruka immediately facepalmed, not thinking of that. And then he immediately wrote a scroll down and just left it on his desk. Because he knew that the Hokage was spying on the class to see who is good and who's not. And who would work to get well together. So, we go to after the test. Because, no, she's not going to need to do the last jutsu. I think there was 3. Yeah, there's 3 Academy Jutsus. The Bunshin, Karimi. I forgot the last one. henge. She doesn't need to do the henge because she just does blood henge, and that completely changes her to a physical appearance. But I'm gonna end it here. She's now a ninja. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy. Talk to you guys later. Bye.